Alrighty, good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Paisley. Wanted to get out here and shoot you guys a quick update. So I've actually just gone through the house. I've pretty much been able to go inside and complete most of my punch, essentially. It looks like the framers are still here completing some of their work. I've got roofers up there getting some felt paper on the house. Hopefully starting shingles today. So got a lot of stuff going on. I know it's kind of noisy. I'm gonna try to get in here and shoot upstairs as fast as I can so you guys can still hear me. Obviously got a bunch of rain last night, so it's a little wet in here, but before I go upstairs, I'll do a quick little 360 in here for you guys. Mr. Paisley, I know you had a question about the dining room tray ceiling over there. Definitely getting that option in there for you. Those guys are actually here to complete items like that today. So part of my inspection today was essentially just an options walk, just to make sure that these guys are getting all those options framed into the house that are supposed to be going into the house, including your tray ceiling here in the dining room. So they're gonna be here working on that stuff today, hopefully finishing up. Got the garage to house entry there. All right, let's shoot upstairs so you guys can hear me. All right, so I'm walking right into the loft area here. So as we've kind of gone through the house a little bit, you guys see all these little pink dots and pink X's. This is actually part of my inspection work. So I come in here, and as I'm checking options, I'm checking, swings of doors like this. I'm marking it for those trim guys to come in. It just makes it a little bit easier for them. But my biggest priority today is making sure our framers are framing your house per our Pulte construction standards, and they're not missing options. So, stuff like your dining room tray ceiling, that's the type of stuff that this inspection would catch. I'm also just checking for safety stuff like this. We require these guys to have, their safety rails up on second story windows, just to make sure, if we have some homeowners come in over the weekend, we don't want anybody falling out of second story windows. So a lot of that is kind of what I'm in here checking on my inspection. It's about a 2-page inspection that I go through, and they did relatively decent. They got a little bit of punch work that they're gonna have to complete for me, but not too bad on this one. So hopefully they'll spend the rest of the day to finish up all those punch items for me. And then as we go into next week, we're essentially looking at going into the rough-in stage. So we had an inspection done on your house yesterday called the sheathing and strapping inspection. And that's essentially where our inspector is essentially focused on the outside of the house. He wants to make sure that your nailing patterns are correct. He wants to make sure that all your roof decking is nailed off correctly. We have seismic and hurricane values and standards that we have to build your house to. And the outside of the house is just as important as framing on the inside and all the engineering that goes into it. So we definitely go through that inspection process with the city just to make sure we're building your house to code, essentially. So again, that's kind of what we're up to this week. We're about 98% complete with the framing. And then we're gonna be looking at next week going into the rough-in stage. As we get through that rough-in stage, you guys can expect me to reach out to you here relatively soon to schedule your build quality orientation. That's our time that we can come in and essentially walk the house together before sheetrock goes up. So without further ado, I'm just gonna kind of give you guys a quick little 360 tour through the upstairs here. I'm in the master shower right now. Again, you can see a bunch of my pink dots and pink X's and all that fun stuff of little notes that I've left for my framers. Typically, if it's got a pink dot, it means it's something that I've inspected and it meets my requirements. Again, I've got options labeled. You got electrical work going in, so I like to label that for my electricians when they come in, so they know exactly where that stuff needs to be located. Again, all this stuff is located per that build quality introduction that you guys did with JC and all those schematics that you guys went over with him and reviewed. So I review all those documents, and I actually come in and label the house for the electricians to come in. If you look down at the floors, a lot of times you'll see some options. So typically every room has some sort of option that goes in there. So typically what I like to do is I like to write those options on the floor. A little bit difficult to do it in here today since it's a little bit wet, so what I've tried to do is I like to write it on the studs. The only thing that I didn't really write too much was your ceiling fan pre-wires. Essentially every single room is getting a ceiling fan pre-wire in here, it looks like, so I didn't go around every bedroom and try to write that on the floors because a little wet. Swing over to the other side of the second story here and pretty much wrap this up. Guys got the radiant barrier sheathing up here. Again, that was another option that you guys selected. talk about that at the build quality orientation. All right, and then we're gonna go over here into bedroom to bathroom. Tub's gonna sit right over in here. All right, well, that's kind of a grand tour of the house. Sorry it was so noisy in here. I got a bunch of roofers up there working. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of good content out of today. Hopefully it's exciting as ever for you guys to see, framing essentially almost done here. So again, next week we're going to be getting into the rough end stages. We got plumbing, electrical, and your HVAC system going in up there. So as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Call, text, shoot me an email. I'm pretty much here till 5, 6 o'clock, and then if you call, text, email over the weekend, I'll definitely make sure to get back to you on Monday. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next update.